And it's a tikkun, like we know, any pain that we go through in this world is tikkun, and we have to be very cognizant of that. That just like everybody here is a father, yeah, and you know that the worst thing in the whole world is watching your kids go through tsar. It's unbearable for a father, yeah, unbearable for a father or mother, yeah, and that's exactly infinitely more so Avinu Shebashamayim. Every tsar that we're going through is infinitely more painful to him than any tsar that we have when we see our children going through tsar. Infinitely more. So any tsar that we have to go through is ach v'rak l'shem tikkun, and it's a very important. I'll just say this as a side point, but it's very important to remember this, and you learn it from Yosef Atzadik and from David HaMelech, that when David killed Goliath, yeah, there was a nace. Oh, Yitzi, I said this to you, yeah? This is a very important Torah. That there was a nace that Hashem made. David threw the stone and it went into Goliath's, it pierced his helmet, went into his head in the front. And Rashi says there was a nace that Goliath fell forward. Yeah, if someone gets a stone in their head, they would fall backwards. But Goliath fell forward. He was 10 amas high. And the reason why he fell forward, and Rashi says this, is because David had to go and cut off his head. That was part of the whole thing, yeah? And it wasn't in David's cheshbon to have to walk an extra 20 amas. In all of the tsaros that David went through in his life, yeah, with Bathsheba, and with Shaul, and with Avshalom, with Uri, with so much suffering that man went through, a walk of 20 amas was not in the cheshbon. Also, Yosef Atzadik, Tsar Yosef, what Yosef went through as well, yeah? And he was taken in a caravan with like nice smelling spices, because in his cheshbon wasn't a 3-hour journey with a smelly, with tar and zephyr, whatever, yeah? Again, the same thing. I had an experience, just as my own experience. My knee locked when I was on holiday with my family in Beit Shemesh. This was about 5-6 years ago. My knee seized up to the point where it was so unbearable. In the end, I ended up getting an ambulance to Shaarei Tzedek. It was terrible. Yeah, I was crying. It came in waves. But what happened was, I was in this place in Beit Shemesh where the guy had built this tzimmer, yeah, using real oak wood. Like in Israel, everything's chad pami, yeah. Like, the shower curtains are like, if you hang onto a shower curtain, imagine, yeah. In this one place, the only place I've ever been to in Israel, there was a curtain. When my knee locked, I was standing next to a curtain. I was able to wrap my arm around, and it supported me for about 2 hours. Well, I could hold on to it so I didn't have to sit down. And we had a freezer full of bottles of frozen water that weren't frozen, so I could pour freezing cold water on my leg for like 2 hours until I decided to get an ambulance. Meaning, I went through this crazy pain, but in the crazy pain, Hashem made 2 nisim that were completely the what?
The refuah before the matter.
It wasn't really a refuah. It made the macha like not even better. It was not bearable, but it was much more bearable than it would have been otherwise. Just that's what you have to look for that's the real chizuk. Whenever we're going through saras,
but Sarah in my distress, you gave me some.
Exactly the point. That when we're going through saras, that in my mind is the ultimate. There's gums of the tov, and there's all the chizuk things we know. But for me, what really helps me get through anything that's difficult is when in the tsar you notice something that Hashem did to alleviate a little bit of the tsar. You see like, the traffic light goes green at the right time, or you get that phone call in the middle of the whole thing that just released one little part of the whole sipur, or whatever it is, whatever you can find, yeah? But then you realize that Hashem is giving you this tsar, and it's measured out to the chut asara mamash, to a hair's breadth. You're not having to go through one iota of suffering absolutely more than you need to. Absolutely more than you need to. That for me is a tremendous chizuk.